Terry Blachek, he's here. He's not only an entrepreneur, he's a speaker, he's a coach, he's a CEO and the founder of Austin Fitness Partner. And that's not enough. He is the area developer for Orangetheory Fitness, one of the biggest brand of fitness industry, and he's here in Austin. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Terry. I really appreciate your time. I know you are very, very busy, but tell me who you are, where you came from, and how you end up in Austin.
Well, first of all, thank you, Ramin, for having me. It's a privilege. I'm anxious to watch your show a little bit more and see, be a participant actually, and learn from some of the other folks that are on your show. But first of all, thank you so much for having me, and I feel honored. I grew up in Pennsylvania, Northeast Pennsylvania. My grandparents were dairy farmers. My parents created a business, small feed business that they ran and operated. I went to school in Michigan. I was a school teacher for a couple years when I first graduated. I went back to Central Michigan, got a master's, went to New York City, got in the health club industry, worked right at the World Trade Center for a number of years in New York City, created a company, started out as a fitness guy, kind of moved my way up the company, and a few years later was running that organization. I was one of the early guys in on Crunch Fitness in Manhattan, where it all started. Went to Florida, got involved in another big box fitness company called Lifestyle Family Fitness. Had my own consulting company for about 5 years. I ran into Ellen Latham at Orangetheory Fitness. This is before Orangetheory was Orangetheory, and they hired me as a consultant, became a partner, and then an area developer in Florida. And then I bought the rights for Orangetheory Fitness here in Austin and San Antonio about 3.5, 4 years ago.
What are the most challenges you faced when you took over the Orangetheory Fitness?
Well, today everybody looks at Orangetheory Fitness as Inc. magazine, calls us one of the fastest growing franchises in the country in the fitness industry. Entrepreneur magazine named us as, one of the top 500 franchises. I think we were number 69 or 70. But the reality is, it's a lot different today. We've got, 1,000 licenses, 650 stores open around the world. We're in the U.S. and 17 different countries. But it's a lot different today, 7 years later, than it was, back in the early days. In the early days, back in 2010, when we first started, we were operating off of a PowerPoint presentation, and nobody even knew what Orangetheory Fitness was. And the number one question we would get was, what is Orangetheory Fitness? So Orangetheory Fitness is a heart rate-based interval training program. It's the best 1 hour workout in the country. It's all based around science. It's exciting, but it's a science-based program. And the science tells us if we can get your heart rate, based on your age, to 84%, 12 to 20 minutes inside of that 1 hour block of time, you have what's called a metabolic effect. It's called EPOC, excess post-oxygen consumption. And you burn calories at a faster rate during the workout, and then you have an elevated metabolic rate for 36 hours after. So your body becomes this caloric furnace, and it's burning calories even after you're done working out. So people get phenomenal results. Women can lose 20, 25 pounds in about 6 weeks. Men can lose 40, 45 pounds in about 6 weeks. And, we have a lot of cool things that we do for marketing, the orange colors and the orange brand and the orange morph guys.
Very unique color.
Yeah, all of that is cool, but I got to tell you is that none of that makes a difference unless the workout really works. So from a concept is the workout works. Second is the business model works, right? This is an incredible business model. So we've been very fortunate with that.
What is your definition of success? You're a pretty
It changes. It changes. Success changes for me. I grew up in I'll call it a poor middle class family. And so we were always challenged financially in my family, how much money we had and whether we could do certain things or we couldn't do certain things. So as I grew up in my career, and got into the business world, I always wanted to make sure that my family wasn't challenged like I was growing up. And isn't that what we're all trying to do? We're trying to give our kids and our family a better life. So, that's, first of all, it was a financial piece that I was really going after and trying to create a better financial model for my family. And that's how I define success. But I think today, and it's probably as I got a little older and I've achieved some of that, is my definitions of success have changed. My definition of success is not to just have, the kind of financial freedom that you want, but it's also to be able to spend your time with your friends and your family, to have the relationships. You hear this all the time. People say, I wish I had, when it comes to, to the end of your life, they never say, I wish I had more time to work more. They always say, I wish I spent more time with my kids, or I wish I spent more time with my family. And that's true for me. I think as I get older, I want to spend more time with my friends. I want to spend more time with my kids. I want to spend more time with my family, my parents. Really to give back, to give back. I think that's what it is. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, I was listening to one of your speaking engagement that you said do what you love. Why you are so focused on that?
Yeah, I have a phrase that says if do what you love, but if it's worth it if you do what you love, right?
Yeah.
So you've heard this before too. These are all cliche phrases, but I found them to be true over my career and my life. If you find something you really enjoy doing, you'll never work another day in your life. And so I think that's really key. It's important for my daughter. My daughter just finished up undergrad school. She finished up her first year of grad school. She's going to become a veterinarian, but she loves animals. She loves helping people that have animals, taking care of animals. I mean, she has an affinity for
She didn't get into
for
the
animals.
fitness?
What's that? No, she's gotten helping the animals out. But she loves that, and I'm happy for her. I want her to do something that she loves, because then it doesn't feel like work. When you come to work every day, you get up, you're excited to drive to work. You get excited, not happy about going to work. A lot of people are in that situation. They don't like their job, they don't like their coworkers, they don't like their boss, they don't like how much money they're making. I mean, very negative on the work situation. But if you can find something you love and enjoy.
That's basically your why you do it. Why you get up in the morning, go to work, and manage and lead all these people.
Yeah, I do it, for a couple reasons. I do it, number one, for my family. I really, I want to be able to do the things that I wasn't able to do when I was younger, and financial freedom gives me that ability to do that. And I want to be able to provide for my family so that they have a better life, than maybe what I had. So I'm very motivated by, taking care of my daughter's education, by being able to fly and see her, by being able to, go and see my parents, take care of my parents. My parents are a little older now, so it's important for me that they have the care and the assistance that they need as they get older. They took care of me when I was a kid, and many times they probably should have threw me out of my ear, but they didn't, and I'm certainly committed to them as well.
Have you ever felt?
Oh, all the time. If I told you, it's funny. I've not only failed, but I've been fired. I've been fired from small jobs.
You've been fired?
I've been fired, let go. Companies downsizing, companies selling. I was involved in a company, and it got. I can go through all of those with you, but the answer is yes. And
did you deal with it?
yeah, I think one of the ways, every time that I had transition or change, it was tough. It's tough. It's tough to see yourself in a position or see yourself on a track and maybe that end shorter than what you thought it was going to. But I got to tell you is that, every time that happened is if I could persevere through that process or through the recovery or through the bounce back of that, every time that happened, it always got better for me. So, I've been let go of 2 executive positions. I was an executive in a company, and I got let go, and I thought that was the end. I thought that was the end of my career. I was devastated. I didn't know what I was going to do. And sure enough, another opportunity opened up for me, and it was even better. I got paid more. The company did better. It opened up new ideas and new opportunities for me that I didn't expect. So my advice for somebody going through a failure or going through, I'll call it a down season or the valley, we've always had peaks in our life. We all have peaks and times when we can go, high five, yeah, let's do it. And then we all have times in our lives when we're in the valley and it's not very exciting and it's hardship. That time in the valley, that time when you're having hardship in your life, man, is when you're really learning. You don't see it that way a lot of times. But when I look back and I go, these are the times that were the low points in my life. It was the times that developed character, it developed perseverance, it developed a positive attitude for me. It didn't feel that way at the time, but I came out of that and I look back at that and I go, that was really a growth opportunity for me. So I think how you deal with failure or how you deal with stress or how you deal with down times in your life is it's a season. You look at it as a season, and if you can get through that season, right? We have seasons of prosperity and we have seasons of tough times. But it's a season, it's a month, 2 months, 3 months. If you can get through that, I think that, and look at every day as a process. I know it's probably more than what you want to know, but when I have downtimes in my life, even today, personal downtimes or business downtimes, I make sure I get my workouts in, number one. Number two is I try to have quiet time in the morning just to get peace of mind and let things settle in. I try to journal entry, write stuff like a diary, like a journal, but I try to journal because it empties my mind. So you know how your mind races? In the absence of information, you make up crap, you make up ideas or things that aren't really true. So if you can journal and just write it down, it empties your mind out and helps to for me personally, gives me peace of mind.
What advice do you have for the people they want to go to the fitness industry? Like, they think they're an entrepreneur, they're a physical, personal trainer, and I want to have my own gym. What is really the real story? What is that like? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to do that. I had the opportunity to open up my own gym, and I didn't even know what I was going to call it. But the reality is that unless you have an idea that's uniquely different, it's probably already been done out there, right? So a big box gym, you could be out there and you could have a big box gym, but what's the uniqueness? We call that a USP, your unique selling position. Or what's unique? What's different about your business than every other business? Is it just because it's called Joe's Gym or John's Gym or XYZ Gym? It's got to be uniquely different. So just because you got a box and you got a lot of equipment and you think you're a better fitness trainer than somebody else, you have to have something uniquely different. And that's why Orangetheory Fitness is successful. When everybody was going around the big box and everybody was going with the low price model, we created something uniquely different in a small studio concept that it was science-based, that was a group training, so it became affordable. Instead of personal training at $50 an hour, this you can get for $10 or $15 for a 1 hour session. So all of a sudden it becomes affordable because you're doing it in a group. So that was unique. It was unique because we used heart rate monitors. It was unique because it was orange, right? Everybody didn't know what Orangetheory Fitness was, so we created our own culture around the color orange, around the science of the program, and around the heart rate-based training. That was uniquely different. Now, high-intensity interval training has been around a long time. It's not new, but how we packaged it with the heart rate monitor was new.
What is in it for Terry in the next 10 years? Where are you heading?
Well, I think in life, as in Orangetheory,
what is the plan?
In everything, I think everything there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end, right? And Orangetheory Fitness started about 7 years ago, March 10th of 2010. So we've been going for 7 years. So there's a beginning, there's a middle where that business starts to begin to peak off, and then there's an end. The end is, for me personally, the end could be being in a position to partner up with private equity. It could be a position to sell a portion of the business, maybe not all of it, but a portion of it, and put a little bit of money in my pocket and still maintain the operational control of the business. But I think this business is going strong. I think it's going good. We're still growing. We're not slacking. Right now it's not trending off at all. So, my goal is to stay on to it until I can see it start to peak a little bit more.
With all this stuff we say, we all can do we can't do everything by our own. We need a team. And I know you are a big fan of having a great team. What is the importance of having a team? Like, we can't do it.
Yeah. A lot of people ask me what my secret to success is. Why do my stores perform at the level they do and they're typically higher? Why do people move across the country to come and work for me from Florida to here? Or why do people follow me in my career? Is, my secret sauce is the ability to put great people around me and mentor those people. I spend a lot of time with individuals and leadership people and managers and directors of my group, my organization, sitting down and taking care of them. And the more time I spend, we call it Terry time, right? But the more time that I can spend with those guys and exchange thoughts and ideas, the more committed to me they are, or committed to what I'm doing. The more belief, the more they trust me, the more they believe in me. So my secret to success is being able to put a group of people around and get them focused on a goal and an objective. But I truly believe that when you can help an individual or a person improve their personal life and they become a better person, the business becomes a better business. And I think I try to help people at a personal level. I help them if they're short on finances. I help them if they're having personal problems in their relationship. I think most of my people know they can come and talk to me and have a conversation with me and have a little Uncle Terry time and get some advice. And here's the funny thing, I had one of the, Sherry, she works for me, and she says, I wish I knew that. So Sherry, I said, I got 25 years on you. So, I'm 56 years old. When, she's 30 years old, 25 years, she'll have a lot more life experiences that she can draw on. You know, like you said, I've had a lot of life experiences. I've had good things happen in my life. I've had bad things happen in my life. Yeah. And I use those, and I look back at those bad times and the good times, and it helps me become more relatable. It helps me become more empathetic to people in their own personal situations. So
That's what you have, the Tuesdays with Terry. What is that?
Tuesdays with Terry. Thank you for bringing that up. Tuesdays with Terry, I've done for 17 years. I started it back when I was in Florida.
Give it back.
Yeah, you know, it came off of that book, Tuesday with Maury. You know, if you've ever heard of that book. But, you know, I started a program called Tuesday with Terry, and it was a 30-minute sales training webinar that I do for my organization. And I've actually opened it up to a lot of other people if they want to participate in that. They can do that, but it's every Tuesday. It's at 1:30 Eastern Time. And it's 30 minutes of sales training, motivation, leadership training. How to be better, man. How to be better at selling. How to be better at leading. How to be a better person. How to stay motivated. You know, we all don't have great days. Some of us have bad days. And that Tuesday with Terry is all about that and how to stay on top of your game.
That's why you have a lot of fans, because I hear around that people that love you, and you know, because of, you know, you're giving it back.
Yeah. So.
And would you finish this sentence for me at the end? You know, Terry Blachek is.
I think he's a friendly guy. I think he's a fun guy. I think he's a family guy, and I think he's somebody that I would want to, you know, hopefully people look at and say, you know, they learned something from him. So.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I really appreciate it.